Hey everyone, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 321, recorded on September 9th, 2025. My name's Steve. Of course, I'm joined by Barry and Greg. Barry, how you doing?
Good. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, you
Sorry
guys had a
for the mishap in the last episode. Hopefully
Hey,
it
it wasn't
wasn't
as
too
bad as the
bad.
last time.
No, no. You did a great job. I watched the edit. I was like, "You did a great job." So if you haven't checked out last episode, Steve did an amazing job editing my audio back into the beginning. And shame again on Greg for silencing me.
For silencing you. Yeah, I
He
will
doesn't have,
say
he doesn't
that
have anything.
if you watch the video version, people that are listening to the audio version, they probably won't even know anything's different, except for you guys kind of discuss it for a little bit there in the middle. But yeah, there's your timing on how you were saying things was so close, and I knew you weren't doing it from a script, but it looks so close. I was almost able to just to match it up exactly with your mouth in the record
Well,
in the video.
that's because after we did the podcast, I said to Greg, I said, "Let me get off here while it was still fresh in my head and
Yeah.
try and repeat." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember I said it like this," or I said so. I tried my best to recreate what I said the first time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, the
glad it
only
worked.
thing that I noticed, the major difference, and not that really people care, but inside baseball here, is that you talked through the games you played a lot quicker on your own afterwards than you did with Greg. So I had to cut you off there on your video,
Yeah,
but
I w- you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, oh, how much time did I really give?
yeah,
And I didn't like in my head. I'm thinking I don't want to take up too much time because what is
right,
Steve going to do if he runs out of
right,
video footage? So it's a
right,
lot easier for you to cut than to suddenly make me
exactly,
pause or something.
exactly, yep. And Greg, great job last week or 2 weeks ago. To stream this without me. How you doing?
Yep. I feel like I'm starting to slowly get sick here, but
Mm.
other than that, but I was glad I was able to get most of the audio corrected, and really huge thanks to, I think it was Zev Zero that pointed out that Barry's audio was muted. Otherwise, could have had a major audio mishap like the one back in May.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man, the whole episode was silent the whole
Yes.
time.
So this is why you need to be here live. So you catch all those things when they happen. So if you haven't joined us live, please do that. We record these things live every other Tuesday when we're on schedule and everything. For every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We'd love for you guys to jump in the chat rooms as we're doing that. We stream live on both Twitch and YouTube, and just allow you guys to be here for as we make the whole podcast, but also, of course, to contribute to the conversation as well. So if you're joining us live right now as we're recording this, please be sure to say hi and jump in any of the conversations that we're having throughout this recording. We'd love to hear your opinions and thoughts and everything, and incorporate those within the show. We got a lot to talk about on this episode. Not a whole lot of like huge news. I mean, there's like stuff like, of course, the Nintendo Music app updates, and there's Acclaim's doing a big thing tomorrow, and some updates to NSO and different things like that are happening. But mainly, we're going to be getting into the whole keycard thing in this episode. So stay tuned for a more lengthy discussion around the whole game keycard situation on the Nintendo Switch 2 in just a bit. But before we jump into any of that, we just want to thank you guys for being here. And of course, if you haven't followed us on social media, please do that. It's at NintendoFuse on most of the social media platforms out there. And then also be sure to join our Discord. All those links are going to be in the show notes and also the video description there on YouTube. While you're there on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and share this with other Nintendo gamers that you know as well. That'd be a huge help to us to continue to grow this community so that we can continue to make it better and better for you guys. And we're just so grateful that you're here to join us in conversations and talk Nintendo. So, someone's jumping in the right. Is asking if we have a Patreon support link. We do not. But if that is something that you guys, as our community, would like us to look into, please let us know. We just haven't done that yet, but it's kind of a conversation we've had in the background. It's like, hey, do we do this at some point? So if you guys in the community would like to do something like that, like us to do something like that, so you could support us, please let us know, and we'll look into it more. But thank you so much, Rita, for asking.
We do
And
all this for free.
absolutely, yeah, we do it for free. So, but if you would like to contribute in any way, that'd be huge. So just let us know,
And
and we
and
can set
if
those
you'd
things
like
up.
to contribute, I know like Patreons, they always have like little bonuses, perks, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Maybe give us some ideas of things you would like to be
Yes.
as perks, things that would be like, oh my God, like I would really like private calls or private little videos discussing random things or whatever. There's all different types of rewards. So
Hmm.
whatever kind of content you would like, I'm sure we could poke, Steve and Greg to make it. And I'll just crack
No,
the whip, just.
that's thank you for bringing it up, because I think that's one of the things that stops me every time I think about going down that direction. I'm like, what do we offer? What do people want? So yes, if you want that, please let us know. We don't want to do giveaways or things that people actually don't want. Like, we want to make it actually incentivizing for you guys. So let us know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very
Lawnmower
much
simulator codes for all.
Yeah. Lawnmower simulator.
a lawnmower simulator. See, we'll see. I'll throw in a little Patreon backyard baseball, like you said, Steve, about last episode. When we were doing it, we were getting ready. When Greg started the countdown, was about to start the countdown, is when I realized, oh crap, I'm hosting this. Because when you're not here, Greg does all the audio and then visual stuff, and I'm hosting it, so he doesn't have to do both. And I totally forgot because I'm just so used to you doing it. And I'm like, oh, cool, we're countdowns. Oh crap, what episode is this? What do I do? So the first take was not the best because I'm just not used to it, and I'm just kind of going through it. But no one heard it
It
because
doesn't
it
matter.
was silent. So the version you hear when you listen to the last episode is after
Take
the
3.
fact, me re-recording it, and it was like, I already know this stuff. I have it in front of me. There's less pressure, so I think it came out a lot better than the
That's
original version.
fantastic.
But no one heard it. So a little inside baseball, or like Steve said, Patreon stuff, I guess, or in this case, if you just catch us live, you would at least know some of that stuff. But I figured I'd throw that out there.
That's true. Yeah. That's awesome. Well,
Do a
let's
blooper
jump over.
wheel as part of the Patreon thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could do a blooper.
maybe.
You know what? You know what? Some podcasts do is they actually do a post show where they'll end the show and then they'll hang around with the people with the Patreon and they'll do a little post show and then they'll put that up for the Patreon for those that
It's
can't
true.
catch it live. You could always do something like that as
That's
well.
true. Because we usually stay on talking for hours anyway, so
I
might as well
know
let other
because
people join
because
in.
we usually only get together like every other week. We talk during with, but we only usually get together like on camera unless we're doing a game chat midweek. But a lot of times we record our game chats after a podcast, which is why sometimes you'll see like 3 game chats and we're all wearing the same clothes. That's why. They're all filmed right
Give away
after the
our
podcast.
secrets. That's just all we have to wear. That's please support us. We need a new wardrobe.
Our, it's laundry day and there's nothing to wear.
There you go. Well, let's jump into our actual episode here and talk about what we've been playing. So, Greg, kick us off.
All right, not a huge long list on my side, and there's a big note, a very big release that I wish was on here that is not. But what I did play was a little bit of Split Fiction. My wife wanted to continue on our little journey, even though we've already recorded our game chat. You can check it out on Nintendo Fuse on our YouTube page here. But we did another like more of a level and did like another boss fight and stuff. So that was more fun to figure out and work together as a team. So we were having more fun continuing our playthrough there. And then the next 3 are pretty much for our next one of our upcoming game chats here really soon is Tori 2, Tori Saturn, and the Tori Panic Pack. So stay tuned for my thoughts on those. And then pretty much my usual mobile side stuff, which includes some number of Roadblocks games like Adopt Me and Steal a Brain Rot. And there was a few clones of that same game with different characters that my daughter found, and we were getting into those as well. And then there was like a different game that she wanted me to join called Stair Wars. So guess essentially you have like a little bazooka, and then you have people that need to build like a staircase to like the center or whatever, and then you can shoot the bazooka and blow up like the rocket launcher and shoot up the stairs out of other teams, so it's kind of like a little competition to see who can build the staircase and get to the top first without being able to make it up safely without with all the holes and repairing the holes along the way that from the staircase you have to keep assembling. And then I'm still continuing on with Cookie Run Kingdom. I'm getting ranked up there pretty good in the arena mode now, and like the top 60,000 now. So I'm slowly but surely working my way towards the top and hoping to hit the Grandmaster rank in the upcoming months here up ahead here. So that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Nice. One of the things that we've talked about on here before, and it's just really speculation at this point, but why have they not put Roblox on Switch or Switch 2 at this point? Like, why not?
They really should.
It seems like a no-brainer.
I mean, if you're really following a lot of the controversies right now around it, there's even like some lawsuits and stuff because of there's child predators and stuff on there, and then obviously with the voice chat and like the filtered chat, Nintendo's obviously been trying to restrict us with voice chat and also text chat. So that's probably a large part of it, and I think the main standpoint that I've seen is some of the games are not properly rated. So along with the child predator situation, there's some very inappropriate games that are not marked as like mature, even though it's player interaction and content essential like section, and but it's like showing for kids that are like 13 years old and that they shouldn't be seeing mature content that's rated M based on the content that you do in the game. So I think that's the biggest takeaway on why it wouldn't be on a Nintendo platform.
I think you're 1,000% correct, Greg. And I know Nintendo has kind of gotten stricter with what they allow on the eShop, right? Currently, like East Asia Soft, we're big supporters of our channel. We review tons of games from them, and they're very awesome people. Lately, some of their games are a little more risque, but lately there have been a few of their titles that are coming out digitally and physically for the Switch in all regions except the United States. Like they're not even getting the digital version. You can import the Asian English physical and pop it in your Switch and play it just fine. Still enjoy the game. It's in English. But like the Hyper Neptunia games, the first 3 were remade and none of them are on the Switch eShop. Nintendo refused to allow them. And there's nothing terrible there either. It's just the change in whatever, censorship they wanted to do. They're preventing it. So you can get it if you have like a Japanese account, or you can import the English physical, but that sucks because they're getting stricter. So if they're getting stricter on those games, these are games that have been out on the PS Vita and the PS3. They're sure as hell going to stop immature games on Roblox. And if it does come to Switch, it's going to be the censored version where everything is like all the game creators probably have to go through an extra filter, an extra submittal form, and have to get pre-approved by Nintendo, which is going to cost money and time because somebody at Nintendo is going to have to do this, and it's probably more trouble than it's worth. That's my guess.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I didn't think about it being Nintendo who may be the ones that's actually stopping it. Maybe the developers are ready and willing to put it on there, but it might be Nintendo that's saying no at this point.
Yeah, it's probably stuff that can't pass lot checks, and I mean, tons of those Roblox games are like stuffed to the brim with microtransactions. So, heck, I mean, basically any game you open up will be like, "Hey, buy this special Game Pass for 1,000 Robux, or buy this feature for the game for 70 Robux, or whatever it is." So it's,
wow.
I mean, there's like basically any single game you open up, there'll be things asking for microtransactions.
I mean, microtransactions are in games already on the Switch, tons of them, in Nintendo's own ones. But it's predatory.
Yeah, but I mean, the main thing here, the takeaway here is they have their own special currency. It wouldn't be using like the eShop currency. It would have to link to that currency. Then Nintendo doesn't get to see any benefits of all of that because it's not really through
True.
Nintendo in any way. So if a user buys
they
something,
couldn't run it like credits through the eShop like they do with Fortnite or like any of the Epic games.
I think they would have to do it that way, and I don't think Roblox wants to do it that way because I understand they take a big cut from any and all games that are part of their ecosystem. They take a cut off the
Right.
top, but
Yep.
Which is
I
probably
don't
what they're
think they
doing
want to say
through
like,
like iPhone and stuff as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there was a
yeah.
big thing with like Epic one, they're
Mhm.
taking so much money, and there was a whole brouhaha. And that's true. All free to play games right now on the Switch, or anything that has any type of microtransactions, when you go to purchase them, it's a special pack on the eShop. It transfers you to the eShop to buy that pack of currency or whatever, because Nintendo has to get a cut. There's
Yeah.
no way they're gonna let any company make money off of their system without them getting a little
Totally.
something, because it's
Yeah.
their system. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see
That's what
Roblox not wanting to do that too.
Xbox does, and I'm assuming Sony
Yeah.
probably does the same thing. So
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. Let's move into what you've been playing, Barry.
So I was looking at this list, and I just want to point this out, that this week Steve has played more games than I have, counting both mobiles, because he played
Wow.
mobile, and I played mobile.
Write
He played
this
more.
down. Mark it
Yeah,
in history. This
yeah,
is a momentous occasion.
and Greg, I
And-
think you're what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're right behind. But yeah, I had 10 total, and Steve had 11 from my counting. So yes,
What's
Steve,
really funny
Steve.
is I had even less time to play games these last couple weeks too.
Well, there's a reason, and I'm gonna get to that. So anyways, what I've been playing, my daily plays on the Switch, Pokemon Unite and Asphalt Legends Unite. Still playing those. My son loves to watch, and I'm almost done with the Asphalt season. I'm at like 94%. And if you've ever played that game, that is insane. Like, it's a huge solo. But there are a few races I can't do, including 2 whole careers that are nested by a race I can't do because I don't own the car, and when I click to get the car, it's not even available. So it's currently not available in the game. So single player content is locked out. I can't actually touch it, which annoys me, and honestly is terrible game design, because that tells me I could take all the known currency in the world and go, Gameloft, I want to buy this car, and I can't. And any company that would turn away all currency in the world for an item, a digital item no less, is idiotic. So really terrible game design there, but I still enjoy the game, and my son loves it, which is the most important part, because he watches. I booted up Pokemon Scarlet just for the free. They're giving a free shiny legendary Pokemon right now. Just literally log in and go to redeem code or redeem mystery gift. So I did that. I didn't really play it, so but I did boot it up. Um, the main reason I haven't played a lot of stuff is because I'm still playing the 100 line Last Defense Academy. Let me tell you, this game is huge. All right,
Every time I log into my Switch, you're playing it.
I am at 84 endings out of 100 at this point. It is huge. It is unbelievably massive of a story. Like, this thing has to be like a 2,000 3,000 page novel at this point. Like, it is fantastic. The story is unbelievable. One part I was kind of like on, just because I felt like they missed a good opportunity. But like, it's gotten to the point that I even hit an ending where it's literally called the stupidest ending ever, and they call it out like, this would have been better if it was a dream. This should have ended as just a dream trope. And they got all meta, and they're like, oh, you made this choice. This probably leads to a different ending. Like, it was funny. And then like it's such a varied game though. Whenever there's a game that like splits paths and it's like you're going to replay the same thing over, it's boring. But when one path, it's now a horror game and there's a killer, and another path where you're like, oh, everyone's fawning over you, and another path where you're running away with different people and different characters, and some characters are alive, and every path is completely different. When the enemies come into your base and now they're running the show, it's like, wait, what's going on? You never know what you're going to get. Every choice leads to something completely different. And the fact that they made it that way is phenomenal. So yes, I'm close to being done. I can actually go down what I think is the true path at this point, but I refuse. I want to finish everything else first. And it skips battles at this point. I'm not even playing battles. It's literally reading. I am reading like the largest novel in the world, but it's so good. It is so unbelievably good. I'm at like 200 hours at this point logged in. It is huge. Good news is according to, I should be able to finish it before next podcast to finally get to play other things. Like even my wife's like, can you play something else? I'm ready to watch something else. We know I must finish this now.
Wow.
But it is a phenomenal game, and if you enjoy like out there, if you'll enjoy like stories that are like out there that involve like time travel and involve multiple timelines and involve quirky characters and situations where you have no idea what's going on and the information is slowly leaked to you to reveal, then you'll love it. Like for those out there that are like Expedition 33 is the greatest game this year because of the story, no, I'm sorry. This story, everything that Expedition 33 did really good, this story blows it away in every department, every single department, even the emotional. Doesn't matter. It blows it away. Problem is it didn't catch on, and it's not as popular. Therefore, people won't play it, and they'll gonna hype up a different game, which it's a great game. I enjoyed Expedition 33, but the story doesn't even hold a candle to this one. I'll tell you that because I wouldn't play 200 hours if I wasn't enjoying it, especially reading. On the Switch 2, I did take a break though to play Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Star-Crossed World, which is a weird name to say, but I wanted to play through Star-Crossed World. I played through its 12 levels. I played through 100% of the levels, did the final boss. I did not get all the minifigs. There were a few I missed. I just didn't feel like going back and farming the currency. And I did not do the final arena, like when you beat it, that unlocks a super challenging arena. Oh my god, no, I need to go back to 100 line. But I did enjoy that little brief break. It's not long, but I had fun, so it was worth it to me. Um, PC still doing 14, Final Fantasy 14, and on mobile still doing my daily Mario Kart, New York Times games like Wordle and Connections. Still playing the LinkedIn games. They added Sudoku, and I don't like Sudoku, but I like this version. It's weird. It's just a lot of fun. I compete with my wife. We see how fast we do them. And Pokemon TCG Pocket. Still always playing that every day.
Nice. Yeah. So we already done the game chat on Donkey Kong Bonanza a few weeks ago. At that point, if you watched that, I had not beaten the game. I have since beaten the game. Not 100%, not even close. But I've beaten the main story. And then I'm in the after story as of right now. But yeah, the main story I completed, and yeah, still really enjoy this game. Like I have nothing really different to say than my glowing review that I gave during the game chat. But just now I have more reasons to continue to recommend this game. I had a lot of
What
fun.
did you think of the final boss? Like, you're not spoiling anything, but what did you
Yeah.
think of the final boss sequence?
I have mixed feelings. Like it was a fun reveal. But I was also like, eh, we could have saw that earlier. Like, I don't know, as far as storytelling, I think it would have been more fun to, like, I don't know. Like, it's so hard to talk about this game without spoiling things because
Yeah.
and I didn't expect. I think that's something that I didn't expect to have so much like spoiler kind of stuff within a Donkey Kong game. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
cool that we can't really talk about it without spoiling it. And so, yeah, I mean,
And
it
the
was,
internet has spoiled things, but we don't want to do that to you if
yeah,
you're listening and you haven't played it yet. So we're
yeah,
trying to be respectful.
absolutely. So, but yeah, I like from a game standpoint, it was fun. Like I didn't see it coming. But from a storytelling standpoint, I'm like, maybe I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that, but I was fine
I
with it
thought it was
overall.
brilliant because it reveals the secrets of the enemies you've been fighting
Sure,
and the reason for the fossils and everything like that. And if
sure,
that was spoiled beforehand, then it wouldn't have as much of an impact because
that's true.
you've been through more levels.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I was really reading every single fossil detail thing, and I was like, "There's really a lot of nods going on here." And then, like, it didn't really click in until like you did get to that final world, and then I was like, "You know what? That's really amazing the way they did like transition that
yeah,
over."
yeah.
And then, I think there was one specific quote with Cranky Kong on one of the levels that did kind of lean in towards the end, but that's because I was actually trying to see if it was different. Because most of the time, it felt like a lot of his text was exactly the same. But I think there was
Why didn't you get
one
down
level
here
that
earlier? Why am I down here on
Yeah,
Ramby and not you?
I kept skipping it. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm done. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like one. I don't even know which level it was on, but there was definitely one that was different. So I was like, I bet they're gonna throw in some random tidbit here if I just keep
Yeah.
skipping all these, even though it looks nearly identical every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And even then,
Yeah.
like the same phrases are like before and after. Like you could easily just like blink past it if you're just
Mm-hmm.
jamming the skip button.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what you guys said too, like how they wove it in is great. I think they did a really good job doing it. I think the game could have been okay without it, I guess, is what I'm saying. I'm fine that they put it in there. It was fun. I didn't really see it coming, but I think even if they didn't do that in the end, if they just kind of ended it earlier, I would have been totally happy with this game. Like they kind of took it beyond that. They didn't need to, is all I'm saying, I guess, because it was good enough before that. Which is only more praise to give to this game. So, also played some Boulder Dash 40th anniversary, which we will talk about in a future game chat here on the channel. And I've never played Boulder Dash before, so this was a first time experience for me. And all I'll say right now is, wow, this game is hard. Uh, and then played some Yakuza 0. Finally, it's been on my game chat list for a while. And finally got around to playing some Yakuza. And we'll be doing a game chat on that one really soon as well. I've got some mixed feelings about Yakuza 0. And then also been playing Daemon X Machina that just came out, the new version, Titanic Scion. It just dropped a few days ago. Got a review code for that one as well. So actually, Boulder Dash, Yakuza, Demon X Machina all were review codes. And so I've been playing some of that, and I'll be releasing a review on that game pretty soon as well. So I'll withhold my thoughts until that review. Played about just a little bit of Rocket League last night. So over this last month, I think the only Rocket League I played was last night, and really just played like a little bit because I just felt like, oh, I need to get some Rocket League in my life again. So not a whole lot, but I've been playing over on mobile, Pokemon TCG Pocket, like you guys as well. Continuing to play Last Z as well, and then Clash Royale, and then Match Collector, Wood Blocks, and Word Gems, which are all those I forget what the developer is, but I got hooked on those during the Ryan Trahan 50 States thing. They started sponsoring, and so I jumped on there, and I'm continuing to play those games every once in a while. Usually when I'm traveling, like if I'm in the airplane, I need something like a quick fix. Like those are the games I'll open up because I don't require internet.
You sound like a druggie. I need a quick fix. I need to play a game.
You know how it is.
Yeah, I do. I totally do.
So that's what we've been playing. If you are joining us live in the chat, please let us know what you guys have been playing, or if you're listening after the fact, hop over to our Discord, let us know on social media, or throw it in the comments on YouTube as well. We'd love to know what you guys have been playing over the last couple weeks too. So let's jump into some headlines. We've got several tonight, and Greg's gonna kick us off with the first one.
Our routine Nintendo Music was updated a few times over the last 2 weeks. So on September 1st, we got the epic game Fire Emblem Awakening added, the entire soundtrack added to Nintendo Music. And as of yesterday, September 8th, we got the soundtrack for Golden Sun, The Lost Age. So you can see all the details and everything on the site we have on screen, and be sure to check us out for some more updates in the next episode.
One epic game followed by an even more epic game. And speaking of epic games, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, you could tune in to the Play Acclaim Showcase. Acclaim has been gone for a long time, and they're back. They apparently have a lot of cool stuff they're going to be showing off. It's a bold new era, and let us know your favorite Acclaim, franchises. Maybe they'll come back.
NBA Jam. So there was a Switch modder that many people know about, the MiG Flash cart creator. Well, Nintendo's been fighting a little case with them because they're not a huge fan of stealing games, and that's where they really went after this creator. And just to give a little update, he now owes Nintendo $2 million after a recent settlement. So that wasn't even the final. Court decided everything. This is a settlement that they landed on for a $2 million fine to Nintendo because of the MiG Flash card.
Back to NSO updates here. So, just on September 4th, we got a new one to the Nintendo 64 Mature app, and that was Forsaken 64. So, if you are a fan of that game or just want to check it out, be sure to you can download the Mature app version of the N64 games to check it out.
And speaking of games that you could download, SilkSong is finally out. No more Where is SilkSong? And it was so popular that it took down virtual stores on release. And not just the eShop, which it did take down the eShop, but it took down Steam, PlayStation, all of them. It was just very, very popular, and so popular that hackers even said, "Hey, don't hack, don't pirate this game. Pay it, buy it, support it." So if you were one of those trying to get SilkSong on launch day, hopefully it was easy for you.
Mm. Well, you guys know that we are a big fan of Life is Strange, and they're not getting a new game, but now we are getting a TV series. Amazon Prime Video has greenlit the show, and Charlie Covell is writing the series and will serve as the executive producer and showrunner of the series. And supposedly, it is going to follow Max in the story. So people are probably wondering, okay, where's this going to pick up? And we don't know all the story. We don't know the details yet. But we do know, according to the description, it follows a photography student who discovers she can rewind time. So that to us is Max. So if you're familiar with the games story, at least we're going to get Max, and we're going to see where it covers. If it's going to be the same storyline as the games, we don't know yet, but that's going to be eventually out on Amazon Prime Video. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait until then to see more.
And then finally, there was another NSO update, but this time for the Game Boy Advance. So, Nintendo has now updated the app, so then you can now have the controls customized for every single game within the Game Boy Advance app, and then some other features for allowing you to have like the 1080p support and handheld mode and anything like that for like Switch 2 to make everything look a lot nicer, and um, just making sure everything is all up to speed and up to par with the other apps that allow the specific game like control mappings and support on Switch 2.
Right. Lots of headlines, lots of news that's happening. Greg, anything stand out to you from these headlines? Anything you want to go a little more in depth on or talk about?
Well, I always like to listen to the Nintendo Music app stuff, so I didn't actually check out either of these games in particular yet, but I know Fire Emblem Awakening will be on my list because that was some really awesome music from that game that I would listen to before the YouTube channels were shut down. Um, Pretty cool to see that another showcase will be happening soon for Play Acclaim, and we'll get to see, hopefully, learn some more stuff tomorrow. Um, I did follow the MiG Flash stuff too, and I think there was like another like lawsuit that was also settled like with Genji that like spoiled the Switch 2 back in January. They also settled, I think, too. I didn't know if we should include that too, but there was that there too. SilkSong, I did manage to download it, and that was the one that I was regretting that I didn't have in my playlist, but I do have it all set and ready to go. So hopefully I'll get a chance to check it out in the next 2 weeks here. And I know how much we love Life is Strange here, so that's why I made sure to include that and thought that was pretty interesting that it's actually getting a TV series around it, and it seems a very perfect style game for that to be there. But then yeah, the NSO updates for N64 and Game Boy Advance, just always great to see new features and new games get added, and just wish it would be a much quicker pace and more quantity. But I guess something tied to the Forsaken 64 for N64. I think there was like a some type of rumor or leak or something that Donkey Kong 64 and see there was one and Super Smash Brothers 64 is also was like had like a blurred image. There's like a blurred image of those three games together being added to NSO soon, and then like with Forsaken being already added, then people are thinking that those two might be some of the next two games that come onto the N64 NSO app. But that
Hmm,
was kind of interesting that I saw there too.
interesting. Go in the chat real quick. It looks like yeah, Ryda's excited about Mortal Kombat 2, NBA Jam, big Acclaim fan or fans of those Acclaim games. And Zev0 just wants to remove the awful borders on NSO. I do wish that they'd give us some other options there. That is surprising.
Yeah.
Because other classic games have at least offered other options for borders. So, Barry, what do you think about these stories?
So, looking through the list, first off, I am so happy about these Game Boy Advance app updates. Every one of these NSO apps needs this. Changing the button configuration is a must on these if you're not using the original controllers. Because for whatever reason, they stick with that BA to hell and high water, even though on the Super Nintendo they changed it to Y and B for all of us, they're sticking with the B and A in all these games. So now that I don't have to go out and change my Pro controller, I could just do it in the app. Thank you. Make this for everything.
Not on
Customizable controls.
NES yet.
I know, and like I said, unless you're using the NSO NES controller, which is fine, you have to change it, which sucks because Y and B is so much more convenient and comfortable than B and we were trained in the Super Nintendo era for that. That's how it worked. A in Mario World was the spin jump. It wasn't the standard jump. You held Y to run and then pushed B to jump. Come on, Nintendo. It's not that hard. Life is Strange TV series I'm excited for. Um, it does sound like it's going to follow the first game, which would make sense. That's a good entry point. Although, truthfully, I think Before the Storm and then playing like Life is Strange 1 is stronger because you have more of a connection for Rachel versus playing just like because I did Life is Strange and then Before the Storm.
Yeah.
So when Life is Strange, when they're talking about Rachel being missing and all that stuff, I'm like, I don't care about this character. It's just a
Mhm.
who is this character? But if you play Before the Storm, which features Rachel, I think it would means more now. Suddenly, oh, this character's gone.
Which is what I did
Um,
because you told me to.
and you probably enjoy like when
Yeah,
Rachel is
it
mentioned in the
connects.
first game, it connects better.
Yeah.
If you don't have no idea who Rachel is, you're just like, all right, there's a random girl missing. Who gives a crap? Um, but I do think it's going to be the first one. What I'm really wondering is how they're going to handle that ending. Like, is
Yeah.
the Amazon going to stop and just be like, press left for this and like the Clue movie? Remember the old Clue movie where they filmed
Yeah.
multiple endings? Is it going to be like that where they're going to film two different versions of the TV show ending? Because I don't see how they can tackle that and force you into one or the other because it's a very, very the most divisive ending of the series in my opinion. Still,
Sure.
so I'm curious to see how they handle that.
Yeah.
And I was very vague with that because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played the first game. It's fantastic. They're all fantastic, but the first
Mhm.
one by far is fantastic. And that ending still haunts me to this day. I can still close my eyes and see. Well, I'm not going to say anything. Um, as for SilkSong taking down the virtual stores, I think that's funny and it's expected. I feel bad. Like I don't know if many people even realize this, but like Atari released a follow-up to their original game Adventure, like the Adventure on the 2600 and the 8-bit Atari, on on platforms, Switch included, on the same day as SilkSong. Like that, it just got buried. Like no one talking about it, no one even realizes it's there. That was really dumb of them. Like SilkSong was just like a juggernaut. You just move away. People have been asking for a while. So it makes sense that in 2025, we still don't have, infrastructure to handle something popular on the internet. You would think by now. The MiG Flash creator, you know what? Good. I say good to that. For the main reason is if you don't know this, if someone were to say buy a game, say Donkey Kong Bonanza, or it has to be a Switch game. So say, I don't know, Kirby in the Forgotten Land. They buy it, they take that and they rip it to their MiG. and then they use the MiG to play, and then they go ahead and they trade that into GameStop, and then you buy that pre-owned thinking you're getting a deal. You can put that Kirby in and play, but it has the same ID as the other person with the MiG. And if Nintendo detects that two versions of the same game are being played at the same time, both switches get bricked. So now you just bought this game at GameStop pre-owned, and now your system is bricked, and that sucks because you have no idea if any pre-owned game was previously dumped onto a MiG, and because of that, I think that they absolutely should pay the money. And again, why can't people just be nice? Like we're just dealing with a world where just buying a game could destroy your system at no fault of your own.
Right.
So just buyer beware that there are still MiG cartridges out there, so that could still happen. The Forsaken 64, I'm super excited for, although I don't think I can play it anymore. But I played it like crazy on the N64. I loved it. But I think my vertigo would kill me right now. However, there is a Forsaken remastered on other platforms, and I'm wondering why didn't that go to Switch? And you can't say this because the Turok remasters came to Switch, but they're also on NSO Mature. At least the first two Turok are on the NSO app. But all the first three games got remastered, or the numbered three. Everyone forgets Rage Wars. I like Rage Wars the best. Bring that back. But the what's funny also is Forsaken is an Acclaim game, which is really telling. So maybe tomorrow we'll find out Forsaken Remastered is going to Switch, and all this would be like, say you predicted it. But I'm super excited for the Acclaim showcase. I love Acclaim. Even though I know Acclaim is LJN, like they bought LJN. That's why they have the rainbow. If you ever wonder why there's a rainbow in their logo after a while, it's because they bought LJN. But Extreme G, I love the Extreme G series, and we haven't had a new F-Zero in forever. If they bring back Extreme G, give us a remaster compilation of the first four games, or give us a fifth brand new game, I will be all over it and super excited. NBA Jam, of course, is a classic, but I don't know if they'll be able to do that, especially because there's that NBA Ballers game with the mascots.
Yeah.
That seems
Well,
like
and
it's an NBA game.
EA now loans NBA Jam.
Yeah, that's
So
true. They do own the license, so that probably won't happen. And like the Turok games, they were made by like Iguana. I don't think Iguana exists anymore. But we'll see. It'll be really interesting to see what they do. So excited for that. And Nintendo Music, I still have not booted it up since I downloaded it, but I'm very happy for those that do. I think it's a nice feature.
Yeah. I've not really booted it up in a long time either. But great. I love that all these soundtracks are getting added though. That's great. Gives you more reason to have an NSO membership. Yeah, Acclaim. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm kind of curious because some of their bigger name series have been purchased or spun off or whatever to other companies now. And so like, are they taking back over publishing rights or what's going to happen there? Cause like, Mortal Kombat is now, someone else, and NBA Jam is now someone else, and Turok is now someone else. So like, okay, are they going to pull from the ones that haven't been, or they've got new stuff? We'll see.
I don't think Mortal Kombat was ever Acclaim's. I think Acclaim just was the publisher.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it was
They're the ones that
always MiG
published all
Flash.
these, but at
Yeah.
least like they had publishing rights. And so, and that gave them a good name. And so, yeah, what do they still have access to that they can pull out and make us excited about tomorrow? Because the
Well,
big stuff that I think of is being published by other people now.
my guess is when they went bankrupt, the IPs were sold off. Just like when THQ went bankrupt, their IPs were sold off, and then when Nordic bought THQ, they bought some of those back. So my guess is whoever bought the Acclaim IP and are bringing it back purposely went out for select IP and bought them back. Like obviously they didn't get Mortal Kombat. Like Warner Brothers isn't getting rid of that, but they went and probably grabbed a few IPs that they could of classic Acclaim, and maybe they've got some new stuff too. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah, 2:30 tomorrow. MiG Flash creator, I agree with you guys. I just don't steal, and especially with the connection with the Switch stuff, being able to brick other people's, like, it just makes it where I don't feel comfortable buying a used game right now, because you never know. Because even though like this is being put to a stop, they could still be out there, the games that were done that way beforehand, and so you never know if you're going to get something that's going to end up breaking your system. So I just don't feel comfortable getting a used game probably for the foreseeable future because of this stuff. Forsaken, I actually never played, never heard of it before. I was surprised when I saw it come through. I was like, oh, I've never heard of this game. But that's cool. I probably won't play it. Mostly for the same reason you probably won't play it as well.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a motorcycle where you're like flying around, but it's also 3D, so you can literally turn vertical and go up like you're in a maze, and then you could stop and like go. You're not constantly moving forward though. When you let go, you come to a stop, so you can like go like point downwards and go down, and it very much will probably trigger my vertigo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
first person and third person, but still.
Yeah. It seems like, not knowing about it at the time, but it seems fairly ambitious for the N64.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
It
thinking
was
now
like
in
GoldenEye
retrospect.
in like full 3 dimension, because a multiplayer, you're flying around this maze trying to kill each other, just like GoldenEye. But now you have to like someone could be above you, so you go into a room and you have to like look up and look down and like it's fun. But if if you trigger from vertigo, probably not a good idea.
I think I had rented it back from Blockbuster once, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I might have to check it out.
SilkSong, like that's just crazy. Yeah, like these guys said that happened, and honestly, it actually got me to look into the game a little more. And I'm like, you know what? If I had time, I think I would really enjoy this game. It looks beautiful. It looks like something that I would enjoy. But I've got a lot of other games that I want to play as well. So it may be something that I eventually go to and get. But I did not get it that day. But so I didn't really miss out and get, slam the store like everybody else did. But it looks pretty good though.
I did hear some devs discussing that they wish they would have charged more for SilkSong because it's making them look bad, like charging like $80 for other games, and they're only at.
Is it 25?
It's 20. No, 20.
20 even.
Yeah, I think that was the
That's
other thing
why.
I was not expecting either. Like, because I looked into the story and I was like, oh man, that's funny that all the shops are going down. And I was like, let me look more into this game. I've never really given it much of a shot, and started researching it a little more. And I was like, wait, did I read that price correctly? That's all it is.
That's why pirates are just like, don't even pirate this game. Like support them at $20. Like, let's try and lower the price overall.
Nice. Life is Strange, yeah, excited about that. And yeah, I just have so many questions is the big thing. Like, what are they going to cover? How are they going to do it? Because this is a very much a choose your own adventure kind of game. And so like, how are they going to make that happen in a show, and, all those different things. So I just got like lots of questions, but I'm hopeful that it's going to be a well done story, well done acting, and all that stuff, and it'll give me a reason to fire up Amazon Prime Video, because I haven't looked at that in a long time.
Oh, really? New season of Gen V is next week.
Oh, yeah, never watched that.
You never watched The Boys?
Nope.
Oh my, you need. Oh, or what about Invincible?
Nope.
Oh my God, Steve, homework assignments.
Not enough time.
You love superhero stuff, man.
I do.
You
I've
love
heard
Marvel.
it's a little over the top though, so
it's so
that's
good
why.
though.
And then of course the NSO stuff we've already talked about. So yeah, just keep adding more and more control changes. That'd be fantastic. Let's go to the chat. I know I've missed a ton in this. Rido saying that is playing SilkSong on Game Pass. But best believe I'm going to cop that, switch to physical edition early next year. Nice. And then looks like okay. Okie Reps said, can they do an all new Wizards and Warriors? LOL. That would be interesting to bring Wizards and Warriors.
I want to see Fabio come back if they do a new one though. Like,
I forgot that he was on. That's hilarious.
He was on Iron Sword, the sequel.
I I think I remember walking through like Blockbuster or the game store or whatever, and I remember seeing him on that. I was like, "What is that?" Like even as a kid, I was confused. Oh, it's funny. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about these stories. Again, if you miss doing that during the live chat, let us know in the comments on YouTube or hit us up on social media or on our Discord. We'd love to hear what you guys think about all this stuff there. We're gonna move into the main discussion in just a second, but yeah, there was an Apple event that happened earlier today and a rumored Nintendo Direct. So I watched the Apple event. Nothing that has anything to do with Nintendo at all, but it seems like they're continuing to push forward with gaming and that sort of thing. So that could be interesting for Nintendo moving forward. But the big thing is, yeah, there is this rumored Nintendo Direct that possibly is going to happen this month in September. So yeah, any quick thoughts on a rumored Nintendo Direct before we move to our big main discussion on key cards? Greg, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I did mention those NSO games. I mean, that would be a good place for them to showcase a few more games dropping in a timely manner, as opposed to just like this drip feed of like one a month or like almost every other month it feels like. Um, but yeah, they normally do the direct in September, and even this time around, this is Mario's 40th, so it's almost kind of guaranteed that they should likely pay some type of homage to him. So, will we get like Mario 40 instead of 35? Who knows? But I mean,
And then they'll take it away in 2 months.
all right, and they'll offer a 3D All Stars will be back again for whatever a month, and then they'll take that off the shop too, and maybe it'll only have Mario Galaxy 2 on there.
That's it. Super Mario 3D All Stars is really just a remake of Galaxy 2 this time. That's
Yeah,
it.
because it was missing from the first one. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, just trying to be silly. I mean, obviously, it would be great to actually have the complete set, but yeah, I mean, it just really depends what's in the pipeline for Switch. So, I mean, obviously, we'll get more on Metroid Prime 4. I mean, there's still those other ones as well too. So, I mean, I know Dragon Quest 1 and 2 is coming out in October, so that might have like a small appearance there too. But um, I guess it's kind of wait to be seen if anything comes of this. But um, I don't know if you guys had caught it either, but I know Beat 'em Ups did like a fake direct leak back in July, and then he covered like he like made like these just put a bunch of random stuff on there, and then it got really popularized and everything, and then he revealed that he just did it just all for kind of clout to say like just kind of see how rumors and rumor mill spins it and how it gets out of control and how it goes viral and all of that kind of stuff. So just a word to the wise, it's got to be really looking for that source, and nothing is guaranteed until it's actually formally revealed.
Yeah. Barry, any thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, I expect a direct this September. Just makes sense. It's the holiday direct, and we know, October. We've got Pokemon is October, and November is Hyrule Warriors, I believe, and we know there's nothing as of now in like December or October or September. I mean. So maybe there'll be a shadow drop. Metroid Prime 4 is still the big question mark. We don't know what's going on with that game. There's spots for it. It needs to get out, and it needed to get out yesterday. I do think they're going to do a Mario 40. I know there's a rumored new Super Mario Brothers All Stars, which is what I felt New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe should have been, which is rumored to have the first two games and Wii, which makes sense. I would also like to see a Super Mario 3D All Stars 2 with Galaxy 2 and 3D Land, and I'd like to see 3D All Stars come back. Like, why'd you take it away? Bring it back for people to enjoy. That was dumb. It was stupid. Mario 35 coming back, even if they don't update it to 40, I think would be great. And don't take it away. People love that. Stop taking games away, you dumb company. Uh, I think Nintendo is going to, if they do, I mean, they just had the partner direct, so I think we're going to see some stuff for 2026. I think we're going to see some stuff for early 2026. Oh, we have Air Riders too. I forgot Kirby Air Riders is November. So we've got I think Hyrule Warriors was maybe 2020, like it was just like winter or holiday 2025. I forget the
Okay.
from the partner showcase. But anyway, they've got a stacked holiday season. But if they throw Metroid in there, it's really stacked. But what about next year? And with the Switch 2 out, I think we're going to see maybe a new Mario 3D game. I don't know. Donkey Kong might have taken that slot. Maybe a new Zelda, maybe or even like hints at something, or they're just going to keep things close to their chest. I mean, we have Rhythm Heaven and the Tamagotchi Life are early next year, so maybe we'll see something from them, like new trailers. Who knows?
Probably.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see more dormant franchises. Bring Kid Icarus back. Bring F-Zero back. Bring Star Tropics back. I'll always say that. It'll never happen. You know what? I hope Famicom Detective Club did well last year. Let's bring another one of those. I still think that the team that did Another Code is going to do Hotel Dusk, and I would love to see a collection of those two games, that and Last Window, because I never got to play them, and I love those style, and I think it would be perfect. That was made by the same developers as Another Code, so bring those more of those back. So I guess we'll see. I mean, anything can happen, but like Greg said, don't believe the rumors. Wait until it's shown, and don't get your hopes up for something that doesn't exist. That a random YouTuber said does exist, but because it doesn't, and then get mad at Nintendo for not delivering on something they never promised and never existed to begin with.
Barry, that never
Oh,
happens. I don't know what you're
never
talking about.
happens.
Never.
Never happens. Just don't be gullible.
At this point, I'm getting a little skeptical about Metroid Prime 4. I don't know what I think about this game. From what I've seen, they've not shown it off well. I'll just say what we've seen has not been. If it's a good game, if it's a really strong game, they need to get with it and start showing us better parts. Because so far, it just looks like another Metroid Prime 4. Like, show us some good stuff, and don't make people use the mouse controls when you're like showing this game off anymore, like what they did at the at PAX and wherever else it was as well, if it's GDC or something like that. But yeah, people have been playing the game, but they've been forced into mouse controls as well, and they're like, it's all right. But yeah, getting a little skeptical of it. So that if they do show it off in a direct really soon, which I hope they do, they better blow the top off this. This needs to be really big, for sure. So
I really hope they go Skyward Sword style and have both like standard controls and mouse controls, because
Oh, they will.
yeah,
They
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 have
already said that.
everything, but they've just in the demos they've been forcing people to use the mouse controls. Even if they tried, I've heard like they tried to play with controllers. They're like, nope, we want you to play on them with the mouse.
But they have revealed that it's both.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if like they pull a Metal Gear Solid 2 where you start Metroid Prime, you booted up Metroid Prime 4 and you play through the first level, and then suddenly like something happens to Samus and the rest of the game is Metroid Federation Force 2 or something like that. And like everything we've seen is just from the first level. I would love that. I know people would hate it, but I think it would be the ultimate troll. Like you waited all this time. Like I know there are
Other
some people
M2.
online that would go crazy. Or it's just Blast Ball. Remember Blast Ball, part of
Yeah,
Federation? Literally all you're doing is playing Blast Ball for the whole thing. Like you're suddenly like in a dream sequence in a tournament.
I'd be okay with Blast Ball. And I'm one of
Metroid
No, these are
Pinball.
terrible ideas. Don't
I'm
don't
one
don't
of
listen to
the
them.
rare people that liked Other M. So
Oh, I
like,
like the other M too.
yeah.
Right.
Well, anyhow, let's move into our actual main discussion here. And Ubisoft, just I think yesterday, was when it all came out, and I believe it was one of their. I get this correct. Who is this guy at Ubisoft? His name's
He deals with
Banton.
the engine, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say Frostbite is EA. I forget what the
He's a
Ubisoft.
developer. He's just a developer. Okay. I'm not just a developer. You know what I meant. He's not an executive at Ubisoft, but he's a developer at Ubisoft, and he went to Blue Sky and started talking about Star Wars Outlaws on Nintendo Switch 2 and about how the game is a game key card. And we've talked a lot about game key cards in the past, about how we just don't like them for many reasons. But according to Banton, took to Blue Sky and said that the Snowdrop engine, which is what they used to create Star Wars Outlaws, relies heavily on disk streaming for its open world environments. And we found that the Switch 2 cards simply didn't give the performance we needed at the quality target we were going for. And then he also said, I don't recall the cost of the cards ever entering the discussion, probably because it was moot. So, according to this developer of Star Wars Outlaws, as they brought the game to Nintendo Switch 2, it wasn't a cost thing that led them to make that game a game key card. According to this developer, it said it really had to do with the performance of that game, needing to run on the Switch system memory or a micro SD express card, like one or the other, because of the way it just creates the environments and all that stuff within the open world game that it is. And so if it was running off the card, it just wouldn't be fast enough, wouldn't be a good experience for the game player. So is that, I mean, we have no reason to disagree or believe this guy's lying, like, why would he be lying about that? But this is what he said in public. And because we've speculated many, many times that it actually has to do with they're skimping by, this is a cheap way out, and Nintendo charges way too much for the cards and all these different things that we've talked about before. But here's another factor that we've not considered, in at least our discussion here, is maybe these developers and publishers are doing this because really this is the better better way to play their game, and they don't want their game to potentially look bad because the cartridges themselves can't run the game at the optimal speeds they need to for this particular game. So, Barry, I know you've probably got a lot of thoughts around here. What are you thinking?
I mean, every engine is different. Every game is different, and I don't know the behind the scenes of the Snowdrop engine. I don't know if it was used in all their open world games. I know the Assassin's Creed games on the Switch. I know Immortals Phoenix Rising went to the Switch. They were they were actual cards. They didn't have all the data on it because they used the 2 gig card as opposed to you know being cost effective and buying the bigger cards. I don't know if that was a reason or if this is all full of, honestly. I don't know because I don't know the engine. I do know that some games are bigger than the existing cards. Like we talked about Split Fiction. It's not even a game key card. It's a code in box because it's like 69 gig, which is bigger than the card. In a case like that, there's nothing you could do. But it is known, like Mario Kart World was one of the tests they did where they tested it on the actual 256 internal. They tested it on the 256 Nintendo branded memory card, the SD, the 512 Nintendo branded, the 1 terabyte from Lexor, and then the actual physical. And on the system itself ran, booted up the fastest, then the 256, then the 512, then the 1 terabyte, and finally the physical card. However, the difference was not huge. It was a second or half a second in some cases. I think between it was like 13 seconds on the internal and like 18 seconds boot up on the card. Not a huge deal. 5 seconds we're talking. So yes, it will run faster internally. I think any game would. Doesn't matter what it's using, but I can't see it being the factor for the majority of games. Again, it might be the factor of this engine,
But
and this might
this
be
is
the
Nintendo
exception
we're
to the
talking
rule.
about, who already knows how to maximize that space and get games that are huge
Correct.
running fast on their own system. So, can Ubisoft achieve that kind of thing? Maybe it's a factor of 5 seconds for Nintendo, but could that be 20 or 30 seconds for Ubisoft?
1,000% correct. It could be, and we don't know, and that we'll probably never know. But But it is one of those cases where if the engine demands something like that, and that is the case, then that's the case. But again, that would be the exception, not the rule. And if the majority of games that were coming out were actually true physical, and this one wasn't, I don't think it would get as much heat by saying, well, this is why it's not that way. It's the fact that there's this already negative connotation around third-party titles on the Switch 2 about how they are game key cards, about how, people are joking around Nintendo Directs, they just call them game key directs because you're not getting them physical, and you're not getting them physical, you're getting them physical on other platforms, and sometimes the Switch 1 version is complete on card, and then the Switch 2 one is a game key card. Like Shadow Labyrinth, for example, that's a game key on Switch 2. I bought it on the Switch 1 physical, put it in my Switch 2, and downloaded the free update, like the upgrade pack, played the Switch 2 version on my physical Switch 1 cartridge because it was actually physical. Like, come on. Like, where's the excuse there? I'm sorry,
Sure.
you don't need an engine. If it can run on a Switch 1, it can absolutely be fine on a Switch 2 card. So in this case, he may very well be correct. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is correct. But again, this would be an exception, not the rule for everything else. Unless every game magically uses the Snowdrop engine and Ubisoft is raking in the money and they're totally not trying to be bought out by other companies because they're hemorrhaging money like crazy. I mean, what?
Yeah. Oki Reps asked a great question in the chat that we're going to get to in a second. But before we do that, Greg, I want to give you a chance to respond just to the story itself.
Yeah, I mean, a number of the points that Barry brought up was kind of what my kind of thoughts were when he threw it over to him. I mean, I'm sure it's this easily a game by game basis, and obviously something like this game could require it. It could be that because of the engine, and could be the other compression factors and everything else like that too. But I mean, the one thing I wanted to throw in there, like the flying fairy from the Bravely Default on 3DS, there's no reason why that one at least shouldn't fit on a card and shouldn't have performance impacts to run on Switch 2. So that's a clear example of one that probably doesn't have to be a key card and easily could have fit on one of the cartridges. But I do know that was a lot smaller, probably a lot smaller of a game because it was on the 3DS cartridge as opposed to the Switch one. But this could be also the effect that we're still using the same kind of Switch cartridges on Switch 2. So I mean, it doesn't have the improved read speeds or whatever, and like that's why Mario Kart World might have that 5 second delay
Mm.
just coming off the cartridge itself, but that's because it's whatever 7-year-old cartridge as opposed to how the 3DS they had a slightly different cartridge. I don't know if it was basically the same thing, just had a little hinge on it, but at least it seemed like a different cartridge because it was had that little hinge on it. But I don't know if they could have had a different type of cartridge, maybe this point would be completely different. But I don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to speculate at this point on
Just
that.
just so you're aware, Greg, I looked it up. Bravely Default is 9.3 gigabytes on the Switch 2. So if there were smaller cards available, Square Enix could have bought them, just like the Switch 1 cards, like the smaller cards, and done that just fine. The problem is it's also Square Enix we're talking about, and the odds are they still would have bought a smaller card and made you download part of it, But we don't know. But it is 9.3 gig, so it's
Yeah.
smaller than Star Wars.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
what
there's definitely a publisher base too. I mean, I think, like you said, Square Enix might be more open to saving that extra dollar or two, whatever, on the cartridge cost, and just would rather do the game key card. Where Ubisoft might consider doing a full on card when it allows to, as long as it doesn't majorly impact performance and the game is not way too big to fit on the cartridge in general too. So I think
Star
it,
Wars is only 20.9 gig, by the way.
Mm.
Like a third of Split Fiction.
So it could definitely fit on there. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting to think because I mean, Square is also the company that went to uh, streaming some games that we should have definitely
The
gotten on
cloud
cartridges
version,
as well, the cloud
Kingdom
versions
Hearts.
as well. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
Did you see the latest thing they did with Octopath Traveler 0? I don't know if you saw this or not.
No.
So Octopath Traveler 0 has like a house build, like a village building thing where you
Yeah.
could like build your village. And if you play the Switch version of the game, you can have a maximum of 250 houses in your village, and that's it. If you have the Switch 2 version, you can have up to 400 houses. If you have the PS5 version, you could have up to 500 houses. So literally, the systems, I guess, can't handle more houses in this village or whatever. But if you get one of the Switch versions of this game, you're actually getting a slightly inferior version based on that aspect of than like the PlayStation and Series X versions, which is just really weird to me. So if you have a Switch 2, don't buy the Switch 1 version. If you care about that aspect, you might as well at least get the Switch 2 version. But
Wow.
it's interesting that they even
Yeah.
came out and said that, like, buyer beware. There is a difference.
That's interesting. So there's not a Switch to upgrade thing that you can
No,
download?
no, Square Enix isn't doing upgrade packs for whatever stupid reason. Kind of like Sonic and Shadow Generations from Sega. There's no upgrade pack.
Okay.
Other games are doing that too. It's weird. Like, come
Yeah.
on, like,
That's too
give us
bad.
an upgrade.
So, Oki Reps asked in the chat, which I think is a really interesting question. So, even if the games wouldn't run well on from the cards, why not pay the full, put the full game on the card and then require a download from the card to internal storage, which is very similar to PlayStation, Xbox. Do that. You put the disc in, they require you to download it and install it on your system hardware, which as a person that didn't have an Xbox and a PlayStation for a long time, I didn't realize that was a thing. And then I was like, why am I filling up all my internal storage with these stupid discs? That's why I buy the disc, so I can run the game off the disc. And then I realized, oh, it's not fast enough to do that anymore. So are we getting to that point? If we are getting to that point with Nintendo and we can't, if for whatever reason, the hardware limitations or just they didn't put fast enough stuff in there or whatever, we can't run these big games off of the cartridge like the developers and publishers want us to. Why not, number one, create some bigger cards so you can actually stick all of Split Fiction on a cart, and then at least require you to install the game on your internal storage? What about that, Barry?
That would be wonderful. I don't think anyone would complain. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure someone would complain, but I think the majority of people would be fine with it because they would still be preserving the game physically. Because if the game was taken off the eShop or the servers were down and you couldn't connect to the internet, you can still put in that cartridge and install it from the cartridge. The data is there and play the game from your hard drive. That would be perfectly fine because that it's all about preservation. The people who are pro physical aren't pro physical because they want to get up and change their cartridge every time. They aren't pro physical because they want to take up 1,000 shelf space. Some people may want that. They're pro physical because of preservation. Because we were just talking about Mario 35 or 3D All Stars, right? If you want to play 3D All Stars right now, you just got to switch, or you got to switch for your kid, and you want to introduce them to Mario 64 or Mario Galaxy or Sunshine. The only way to do that is to buy the physical. It's the only way to do that right now. Like the choice is made for you, which is why digital only sucks too, because again, the choice is made for you. And that's a very real thing that happens. Games are delisted all the time. Uh, you know, they may not be the biggest games in the world, but licenses do run out. And if you're not careful, the game you have will delist. And yeah, you can re-download. You can right now. We don't know how long that's going to go, but if it at least exists physically, you have a preserved copy of it that you can at least still enjoy. Is it a more of a pain in the step to get up and change your cartridge? Sure. That's your exercise for the day. Consider that. There you go. Instead of going to the gym, you get up and change a Switch physical cartridge. But yes, I think okay, reps 1,000% with that question, and he's right. That would be a great solution. Now, I do know that you can you can install from the cartridge. You should be able to install from the cartridge. I don't see why not. So yeah, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Let's get that game preserved. And
Greg, any
fun fact
thoughts?
too.
Oh, go ahead.
Go.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say go, Greg.
Yeah, I mean that does seem like a very viable option, but that almost kind of ties into the whole mix switch situation. Are you still going to need the cartridge every time you boot up the game? And there kind of leads to a
Yeah,
lot of
you
that
would.
kind of stuff as well too, because
Yes, you would.
I copied it off the cartridge onto my system, and then now it's okay, trade in the game. So, but
No. You would still need, just like PlayStation disc. If you put the disc in and install it, it does a check, and it checks for the disc to be in the drive still.
Which is really annoying when you don't know that and you first get a PS4 and you think, well, I've installed the game. Why can't I play it? No, you still got to put the disc in there and it still goes,
Yep.
I was like, I want to stop that, but never mind. I'm going to go off.
No, so it would still need to check, just like anything else, like just standard physical. Even if you put a physical and it downloaded an update or whatever, you'd still need the physical to run it. Also weird is if you put I've noticed this, if you have a cartridge game and you put it in your Switch and you play it, whatever, you take it out, and then let's say you want to, oh look, the download is like $2. You know what? For $2, let me put it on my Switch in case I want to come back. And you decide to buy it and have the virtual game key card, but don't download it. Like, let's say you cancel it and like, you know what? I don't want to take up room on my Switch. I'll come back to it. It asks you if you tried to then let me re-download it. It's like, oh no, you need to put the cartridge in, even though you just bought the digital license. You have to go into the game key card menu on the Switch, unload it now, and reload it in to get it
it's two
to
different
acknowledge.
games.
Because it's the same game. It's just
it's
just
two
weird.
different SKUs or whatever. So it's thinking
It's the same
it's
SKU.
treating it. It's treating it as two different games.
Yeah, it's treating it like, oh, well, you've played this physically before, therefore you need the card, even though you just bought the digital. It's so funny.
Yeah, leave it up to
So
Nintendo
funny.
to have things a little bit backwards.
Another fun thing I learned about the Switch with digital, and I don't think anyone's talked about this, so I might have been the first person to discover this. So this might be a NintendoFuse exclusive because I haven't checked, but it could be. Because I get a lot of games for review and for work and everything like that, and I've gotten tons of games on sale or from friends digitally. I decided to take my digital games and put them into folders. Like, here's my shmups, here's my RPGs, etc. I started to realize when I would get a new game and put it into a folder, I'm like, wait a second, I thought I had like 80 games in this folder. Now I've got like 75. And I started to realize that the number was going down on a lot of my folders. And then I decided to go to my games and scroll all the way to the bottom to the oldest games. And I realized the Switch can only handle so many games on it as icons. And it eventually starts deleting the older icons from the list. It doesn't delete the game from your system. So what you have to do is you have to go to your game key cards and go to the bottom, and they're all there, and find that game and click it and say load on this system. It actually automatically unloads it from the system and deletes the icon. It doesn't delete the data, it just unloads the card. So when you load the card back in your system, you don't have to download anything, the data's there. So you could actually have games on your system that the icons are actually missing at this point. And it doesn't give you a warning saying, by putting this on your system, you will be deleting icons. Do you want to proceed? It just does it without telling you.
And the majority of people are not going to be in this situation.
No.
But did you count up to see how many?
I'm guessing it's 2,000 because I'm sitting at like 2,300 digital titles. So I'm guessing it's like 2,000, and then the system starts deleting games to make room.
All right, I will stress again, the vast majority of people are not going to get to that point.
This is Switch 1, not I haven't done obviously on Switch 2, but I just thought it was funny. I'm like, why am I like, now I don't like, what the heck? Like,
wow.
It was kind of cool being able to partition them all into genres at least. But now it's like, well, they're all, and when you bring them back, it doesn't automatically put them back into those groups either. So you have to then re-put them back in. Like, oh my god, like it's like, well, that sucks. So
hilarious.
A little fun fact about memory on the Switch, even without taking up space, the actual icons themselves have a limit of how many it will keep on the system.
Oh boy. I mean, sure. So we were talking a little bit before we started recording, and we just thought it was funny. Like, Nintendo Everything has created a list of all the games that have switched to key cards, and the shorter list would be the games that don't have switched to game key cards, honestly. But we're scrolling the screen right now, and yeah, I'm still scrolling. For those of you listening to it, I am still scrolling. There's so many games that are game key cards on the Switch 2. Even less. I think we counted up 11. Is that right? We came to
Yeah, I think
11
it's around 11
games that are
new.
not
It
game
counts
key
imports
cards.
too.
And the vast majority of those are Nintendo published ones. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's becoming very much a thing. And I think the difference, what Oki Reps really brings up is really the same approach, except that they're doing right now, except for instead of downloading from the internet, you install from the cartridge. Still, as far as convenience sake, it's about the same, all those different things. The real main difference would be for digital, like, or for preservation of games moving forward, because we don't know what's going to happen with, the servers and all that stuff, deep in the future, and all that stuff, where, and even internet access and all those different things. But if it was installed from a cartridge, you'd be able to do that no matter what. If you have to download and install from a server, who knows where that's going to be over time? Who knows the powers that be, how they're going to control that and everything. So that's the main difference where we're talking here is for long-term preservation and stuff like that, because the main idea really kind of is the same. You're still installing it from somewhere, and you're not playing it from the cartridge itself. Any further thoughts, Greg?
Not really. I mean, I just agree. I mean, it's better just to have the game fully on the card, and it makes it more convenient for preservation aspects. And if you just have to download it, still insert the cartridge to still play the game, and that still fits all the criteria, and it solves the issue of things not loading as fast off of the cartridge directly. So it seems like it'd be a lot easier just to install it like off of the card, but I understand Nintendo might not want that ability just due to the stuff that went on with the MiG switch type stuff. So they don't want you just to rip the game directly off and then be able to just easily transfer it to put it online, and anyone can just download the game from there then. So
Sure. Yeah.
that just creates a lot other type of issues. But it does seem like it better than the key card. But it's just kind of I can see why that method wasn't more probably pursued more heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd require for the cartridge to be in there, for sure. Because if not, you'd have the same issues that people had back in the day, when we started installing games off of discs and CDs and stuff on PCs. You could get your copy of Doom, download it on your computer, and sell that disc off, and keep doing it over and over and over again. And
Well, they
we
put stops to that with like key pins. You got to an
Totally.
exclusive
Yeah.
pin
I was just
and
saying,
stuff like that
before they did all that, like you could
before they
just
did.
get
Oh
whatever
yeah.
game, yeah, and like, oh yeah, I installed it, and pass it around to your friends. Like, they don't want to do that anymore. Well, yeah,
Well,
if you guys have any thoughts around any of this, please let us know in the comments, social media, Discord. We'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and does this news from Ubisoft, an Ubisoft developer, specifically about Star Wars Outlaws, does that change your thoughts at all about game key cards at all? Like, maybe you're still disappointed, but maybe you're slightly less disappointed knowing that this is the case, or you're still just as ticked off as you were before. Let us know. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are as well. Either of you guys have any final thoughts before we move on to what's coming up in the next couple weeks?
I was just gonna say, I will say this. I think it was Gamescom. It was shown off, and people were talking about the performance and how bad it was. And then it came out, and people are glowing reviews. Like, it
Mm.
performs incredibly well, and people have high hopes for like Elden Ring performing well now and all this. So it is apparently a very, very good port. So if you are interested in the game, and Switch 2 is the only way to play it, you're not getting a bad version of the game. You're getting it portably, because apparently it runs exceptionally well.
It's a good reminder. Yeah, I heard that as well. That for whatever reason, the demos weren't running great, but the game itself is running fantastic. Cool. Well, let's move on to talk about what is coming out over the next couple weeks and what we're going to be playing. As usual, we're going to be scrolling those on the screen, compliments of Metacritic, just showing you what's going to be coming out over the next couple weeks for Switch 1 and Switch 2. A few games to highlight that stood out to us. September 15th, we're getting Lego Voyagers, and that's a game that Barry and I are going to be eventually doing a game chat on. I loaded it up and then realized it requires multiplayer. So, Barry, I need you to download it.
Does it? Do you need Xbox Live?
Oh yes, you do actually. So I don't have Xbox Live either.
I don't have Xbox
we're only
Live.
gonna be able to play local multiplayer until we get the Switch codes.
Yeah,
but yes,
because I don't have Xbox
We've
Live.
been told we're gonna get Switch codes, so we will eventually be able to play it on Switch and then talk to you guys about it. But then also on September 18th, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Sparks of Hope are getting a bundle. And then September 19th, Trails in the Sky First Chapter is coming out. And then September 25th, just a little bit after our next episode, which is going to be on the day before. September 25th is Sonic Racing Crossworlds. So, Barry, anything stand out to you from that list or any other games you're going to be playing in the next 2 weeks?
Trails of the Sky first, for sure. Absolutely. Legend of Heroes. Got to play those games. And very much looking forward to this remake. And I'm also interested in Sonic Crossworlds eventually. I say that because it depends on if I have a review code or if I get to it when I get a chance. But 100 line. I have to have 100 line finished before Trails of the Sky because there's other games I need to play for game chats, and there's also games I have to play for work. So I'm so close. Like I put in this much time, I have to finish it. I need that finish line. So I'm hoping it does not disappoint. But that is the main thing. So I bet you'll cheer the first time you log in and see me not playing that game.
Yeah. Greg, what are you going to be up to?
Well, I'll be hopefully finally diving into SilkSong because I don't really see anything in the next these 2 weeks here. So it would either definitely be SilkSong or maybe even finally booting up my copy of Cyberpunk that I got for my birthday last month. So it's either one of those probably for the next 2 weeks.
Nice. Oh, I did forget. I got confused on the dates where our next episode is on the 23rd. But right after that, NBA Bounce, Pac-Man World 2 Repack, EA Sports FC 26. So right after our next episode is going to be several other big games coming out as well. And that's honestly, one of the games I'm looking forward to is FC 26. And I was looking. I think the last time I bought an EA Sports soccer game was FIFA 17. And so it's been a while, almost 10 years since I've purchased a soccer game. And so
was it because of the legacy editions?
Yeah. I mean, and they didn't really update from year to year. It was like meaningless things, and it just got to the point where it was like they did a lot of work on the ultimate stuff, or the ultimate team and creating your own team and all that stuff. That's where they put a lot of effort into, and that's just not that's not why I play FIFA or FC. Like that, I enjoy playing the game itself, and so so the game itself really was very minuscule, like differences from year to year, roster updates basically, because they put a lot of effort in updating other things. 26, they've updated a lot of the gameplay, and so it's the first time I've actually just gotten excited about, they've actually listened to the gamers and the players and everything, and like this is the first time I've gotten excited about the gameplay itself being updated. So yeah, I'll probably be playing that. I'm interested in NBA Bounce. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I'm interested to see how that
Try to
plays
get us
out.
review code, Steve.
I would go after that for sure. I Lego Voyagers. Well, Barry and I will get to play it eventually and check that out. And I will just say, if you haven't played Mario and Rabbids, this is another chance. Get on it. They're so fun. They throw me in so much more than I expected to. But it also reminded me of something. As I was looking at that list, I was walking through Walmart just a day or so ago, and I noticed a whole bunch of Ubisoft games that also had game key cards or code in box listed on them that I don't remember them being like that before.
So what happened was Ubisoft took a lot of their games and repackaged them as code in box and sell them as for cheap because everything was being discounted so much
Yep.
that by the time their games were 19.99, they weren't making nearly enough. So instead they said, let's drop it to like 12.99 or whatever, but do a code in box and get people that way by being super cheap, but make it a code in box.
That makes
While at the
sense.
same time on the eShop, it's even cheaper
Right.
sale than the code in box. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
You're
they did
paying
that
for
with a
that
ton of
plastic
their
case.
games.
Okay. That makes sense because I just walking by, I was like, I don't remember that box looking like that before, but that makes sense. And really the whole price thing, the fact that like this developer, go back to our previous story, the developer said that Ubisoft didn't even think about the price of the cartridge, doesn't surprise me at all. I don't think Ubisoft thinks about price at all. Like they're like, put our game out for like 2 weeks and then discount it to 60% off and get it out. Like that's what I keep seeing over and over again. I don't think they want to make money. So
No.
But yeah, let us know what you guys have been will be playing over the next couple weeks. As I've said, our next episode is going to be recording live on Twitch and YouTube on September 23rd. We'll do that at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Would love for you guys to jump in the live chat and join us as we talk about potentially Nintendo Direct. We'll definitely be talking about the Acclaim event for sure. That's going to be happening tomorrow. And who knows what's going to be happening over the next couple weeks, maybe a couple of those games. Sure, Barry's going to be talking about Trails in the Sky. And maybe we'll be talking about some other games that we've been playing as well. Sometimes, we dream about what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden Nintendo just shadow drops something on us. And we're like, oh, that's what I'm playing instead.
My goal is to have 100 line just so I can talk about Trails of the Sky. What saddens me is that the next game from the creator of Danganronpa, who did 100 line, is Shuten Order, which came out this week and is out now. And it's like I can't do two of these games back to back. I need something else. Like I need this break. So I'm really hoping to get to some of these game chat games before Trails of the Sky as like a palate cleanse, because Trails of the Sky is going to be a bigger RPG before I get into Shooting Order.
Yeah.
But that saddened me because I was hoping to do that at launch. Like, oh, that's my September game. But 100 line, I did not expect a 200+ hour game, but I can't put it down. It's so good.
Wow. Well, hopefully you guys will join us as we record live. But of course, we're available on YouTube after the fact. The whole video version, or all the podcast apps out there for the audio version. Yeah, feel free to subscribe to us, follow us. Join our Discord, share this with other Nintendo gamers. We'd love to continue growing this community. And as Rida suggested at the top of this episode, if you guys would like to help us look into Patreon or something like that, where you guys can support the show and support what we do here at NintendoFuse, please let us know. And also let us know what kind of perks you guys would like if we do start something like that. We would love to have some feedback on that, so that we're creating something that you actually enjoy. That's what we really want to do. That's why we do this, is we want to create things that you guys enjoy. We get a lot of fun out of it too, but we also want to make sure that you guys enjoy it too. So Greg, anything happening in your life over the next couple weeks beyond gaming?
At least for these next 2 weeks, I don't really think there's a whole lot going on. So, like, my daughter did resume like soccer and everything. So, like, that's be great to see the games each Saturday. But, yeah, I'm just continuing on with the job hunt. Haven't really had too many contacts back. So, really hoping that something changes over the next 2 weeks. It'd be nice to be able to work again.
Yeah. If you have a job, hire Greg. No. Barry, what's going on in your world over the next couple weeks?
More work. Definitely more work. We're very busy at PM. We have a lot of stuff happening. I had a meeting earlier today with one of our partners that are great, and going to be helping out another new partner on assisting now on stuff like ESRB, which is cool because I feel confident enough I can like teach ESRB now to other developers and stuff that haven't done it before. So that's a testament. But I am working on a game right now for ESRB that I can't talk about, but it's definitely a fun challenge. But other than that, my son's back at school. Like they started their new year, so he's moved up a class. He's playing with more kids now. He's getting more active. He's doing more activities. He's a full-on toddler, and he's amazing in every way. So he's definitely keeping me busy and keeping my wife busy, and just watching him grow and seeing what he's playing. And he's still not there to the point where he can like sit down and focus and like watch through a TV show, for example. But he's getting closer, and then I can introduce him actually playing the games as opposed to him watching me play games. So soon that'll be the case. Also dealing with the wonderful thing of aging parents. We're going through this whole thing with my dad now, where he's starting to get some dementia. So we're doing the whole, let's get on your checking accounts and your savings accounts so we could help you, and had to go get like his will notarized yesterday and made sure that it was all correct, and all the fun stuff you never want to think about with your
Mhm.
parents, but you eventually will have to do. And yeah, that's happening. So now it's like, oh, every day's a wonderful struggle with that, and hoping that he doesn't do something stupid. So I've got two children now. I've got an old one and a young one that I'm dealing with. And then, like you've experienced before, Steve, I've had my second implant put in
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, right before the podcast too. So I've got, I don't have the, like, when they do it, they do the screw first, then you have like 4 months with the screw. I got the screw put in, so like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
So like I had the stitches get out yesterday. I had to go get them out, and it's now that new sensation where it's like it feels weird, and it's I got to deal with this for four months before I can put in the actual tooth. So the fun of it all, and of course insurance doesn't cover it. So if you're listening to this, keep your teeth clean, brush them, floss them, water pick, whatever you do, because implants are a solution, but they are expensive and they are a long process. They're not fun.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be home for the next month or so.
What?
I'm not traveling a lot.
What?
I know. October and November is a totally different story, but yeah, I'll be here in Colorado for the next month. Doing I got to write a big research paper and turn that in, and a whole bunch of other stuff that's going to be definitely occupying my time, but I won't be traveling. So that's kind of crazy as of late, because I feel like I've been living in airports and out of a suitcase for a while. So it'd be nice to actually play more Switch on a TV instead of in handheld version.
Yeah.
But it's been nice. It's been really nice to have the bigger screen on the Switch 2, and look really really good on the go, because as I'm sitting at in an airport or a hotel or whatever, to be able to just pop it up, and that hinge is so much better on the Switch 2, and just be able to like almost lay it down if I need to, and play with the Joy Cons and like separate them off there. It's been a good experience to be able
Do you
to
actually
game.
do that in the airport, like actually play tabletop as opposed to like holding it in your
Not in
hand?
the airport. No, in the if I'm in the airport, it's just handheld. But if I'm like the hotel, like because I didn't bring my dock with me, and so I just set it up like on the desk in the hotel room that I was in, and popped the Joy Cons off there and played it like that. Yeah, yeah. That's mostly how I played Boulder Dash. Actually, was
Oh, is
just that
that
way. Yep,
interesting?
yep.
They
So
do make the carrying case. You can put the dock and everything like in the actual case too, if you really
they
wanted
do.
to bring that too.
If I had more room for more luggage, to do that. Yeah.
Pain in the
I
butt.
mean,
You have to worry about it getting damaged. It's
yeah,
bigger,
yeah.
and they're
And
$100 to replace them. It's not worth it.
yeah, I mean, I have a second dock, that's still in the box for when I do travel and need it. Like right now, like my plan is to put it on the the living room TV. That way I can just move it back and forth like I do with my Switch. But yeah, eventually I'm hoping they come down in price some, so that I can get another one that I could potentially travel with. But yeah, it's bigger, and I already am, for the most part in my travels, I'm carrying way too much luggage anyway, so I don't want to add another case to it. But I hear you, Greg. Just right now, it's nice. I think with my Switch, I felt like I needed to bring my dock with me more, With the Switch 2, I feel that a lot less, which is really nice. Because with the Switch, I'm like, I don't like playing this in handheld. But because I didn't have an OLED, I just have the original, and like it got to the point where I'm like, it's okay handheld, but I want it on a TV. The Switch 2 is a different story. I'm okay with that handheld if I need to.
And the Joy-Cons are bigger, so it's a little
Yeah.
more comfortable as well.
Yeah. And man, again, that hinge, I can't talk enough about that hinge right now. It's great. So much better than that little dinky one on the original one.
They did something right.
Yeah. Well, next episode is going to be recording, like I said, on September 23rd. That's a Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Hope to see you there on YouTube or Twitch as we stream live. But if not, we'll be on your podcast apps as well. But until then, happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you next time.